What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today I got in the mail the lucky tackle box for June of 2018. So we're gonna get right into it and see what we've got in this box. This is the Bass XL box, by the way. Lucky tackle box, if you don't know, is a cool way to get baits shipped to your house every month for a low cost. You get a bunch of discounts on the baits and stuff, which is really cool. And you can also get new baits that you might not have tried in the past and catch fish on them. I know, like this lizard here I caught haven't used in the past, the rage tail lizard. However, I got that in a box a couple months ago. Tried it out, and last week plus this week I've caught a bunch of fish on them. They're all over the bottom of my boat right now, but they are a cool bait, and I would not have tried it if it wasn't for the lucky tackle box. So we're gonna get into this and see what we've got. Basically, first we've got the little tackle guide here. It tells you more about the products in the box, how to use them, where to use them, stuff like that, as well as the prices of the baits themselves. So after that, we've got a LTB sticker here. That's a new one I haven't seen before. Kind of a cool logo there. So for the baits themselves, what we've got is got some topwater stuff. It looks like a lot of stuff that I could see using right now this time of year based on where I've been catching fish a lot. So first off, we've got a California Classic Bait Company. I've never heard of that brand before, but it is a hollow body frog, as you can see right here. Cool thing about that frog is it actually has some pretty short legs already, so you don't have to worry about trimming them down. And theoretically, it should walk pretty good having such short legs. So that'd be a good one to try. I know last night I had a bunch of bites on frogs, a bunch of blow-ups. However, they were missing it a lot. I was fishing the frog really fast, but if you slowed it down and walked it, something like this bait should definitely catch you some fish. Next, what we've got, this is Logic Lures Wiggly Jiggly. That's a interesting name there. Pull one out for you guys. This is a 3/16 ounce. It comes with two of these, by the way. It's a swim bait jig, it looks like. Basically a hook that you're gonna rig on a swim bait. Something similar to a swim bait like this here. As you can see, I've got that on a regular jig head. However, with this jig, looks like it's gonna be more of a pointy head, so it's gonna go through the weeds a little bit easier, which is nice, but it also is like free swinging. So theoretically, I think with that one, you'll get a lot more body action out of the bait versus just the tail. I know on like a straight one like this, the body's not able to move at all. You've just got the tail kicking. So with that Logic Lures one, theoretically you'll get a lot more body movement as well, which is pretty cool. Might draw in a few extra bites, having more action to your bait. Then looks like we've got a couple poppers in here. So actually a really cool thing here I'll talk to you guys about in a second. So the first one is Clear Lake Lures. We've got some other stuff from them in the LTBs before, I believe, but this is a popper. And I don't fish poppers too much. However, I know they work and catch a ton of big fish. And as much as I hate throwing poppers because it's so slow and boring, you do get a bunch more bites and a lot better hookup ratio compared to like a walking bait that I like to throw. So I know last night on the walking bait I had a bunch of fish jumping at it and missing. So with a popper you get a lot better hookup ratio because it's fishing it slower, and you can get the fish will basically always engulf the whole thing into their mouth. So it's definitely something to try, and like a bait like this with a white bottom is always a good topwater. That's always my favorite colors, anything with a white belly. And yeah, basically that's just a popper in like a nice chartreuse shad color, and you've got a little feather treble on the back. But the next popper that we have here is a Live Target. This is their frog pattern. It's also just a hard body popper. If we can get it out here. But one thing I notice about this that I've been trying to basically use more into my fishing lately is if you look at this color on that Clear Lake Lures one, it's gonna be a lot more shiny of a bait, whereas this frog here, the Live Target one, is a lot more of a flat colored bait, which basically what I've been kind of using is, I heard about this once and I've started to use it a little bit, which has made a lot of a difference for me, I think, and catching me more bites and more fish on pressured water and clear water is using more of a flat colored bait. Now this is something that most people do not think about at all. However, the fish on basically pressured lakes always see baits like this that are shiny and everything going through the water, square bills with a bunch of flash, all kinds of different things like that. But if you can do a little more subtle action with a flat color like this, I think you can definitely pick off a few more fish in pressured as well as clear water. I know I've been doing it a lot with jerk baits, where you're fishing a slow pause and stuff. The fish get a better chance to look at the lure. I think that definitely does make a little bit of a difference. So that's cool that we got one of each of those in the LTB. Plus, with the brighter one, you can get more active fish as well, which is cool. So you've got something for each circumstance there. Next, we've got some Ewg hooks. Basically just for rigging any plastics. These are a 1/0 size, so a little bit of a smaller hook. Definitely good for worms, small craws, anything like that. And you get 4 of them in this package. These are Mustads, by the way, which are a good hook brand. Never really had any issues with them at all. Now to go on those, we've got a Craw here, which is another perfect bait for this time of year. I know if you've watched some of my other videos recently or ones that will be coming out in the future, I've been catching a lot of fish in weeds lately, deeper weeds, which is really nice. It's a good way to get the bigger fish post-spawn and everything. And any kind of, like I was saying, the lizard, as well as, let's see what I've got in the bottom of the boat here. Got the watermelon red lizard here, as well as just any craws. I've been using a lot of like watermelon and red, as you can see. Fishing them deep in weeds, as well as flipping if you can find some shallow cover. They've been doing great, but this is another bait that would do perfect for that. This one's gonna have a ton of action here. Big Bite Baits is always a nice plastic brand. I like the action that their baits have. They're really durable and everything. But here you've got your 2 long claws, but you've also got some big tails, more like the lizard tail would have. So you've got a bigger profile bait for catching big fish. But if you always wanted, you could also just pinch these appendages off here and just have like a normal craw. And yeah, I can guarantee that's going to catch fish this time of year around where I'm located. If you're anywhere in the Midwest, I've got to say that's going to be another good way for you guys to catch fish this time of year. Anytime you can find weeds from 4 to 12 foot of water, that's what I've been fishing a lot lately. And any of these baits in the box are definitely good for that. Now the last bait that we have in this box is the Bass Bros Bootlegger. This is a lipless crankbait, another brand that I've never heard of, but this is definitely another bait that would catch fish this time of year. It's in a cool like natural shad / bluegill mix color, which is really sweet. But basically, again, in the weeds and stuff, or if you don't have weeds, you can fish this on the bottom, yo-yo it or something. But around weeds, the lipless crank is really nice compared to other crankbaits because you can rip it right through the weeds. If you get snagged on the hook with some weeds, you can always just rip it right out, really easy. As well as you can fish it fast, burn it over the vegetation, which is really nice, kind of like a topwater. However, you're going to be under the water, and it still draws fish up out of the weeds, which is really nice and gets you some good bites. So that is the LTB for June of 2018. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we got a ton of sweet baits in here that will be good for this time of year, and hopefully you guys learned something that you can go out and apply to your own fishing right now. But hopefully you guys catch some big fish. I know I've been catching a bunch, so let's keep going with that. And I'm going to try to get some more videos out for you guys. So if you are not already, make sure to subscribe below as well as like this video for more. We'll see you guys on the next episode.